Coming up on Sportsource, we'll take a deeper look into the backbone behind the success of the Athens Christian track and field team. And a story on how a UGA tennis player is using his social media platform to coach.
Plus, head men's tennis coach Manuel Diaz tells us how his young team's preparing for this upcoming season. Sportsource starts now.
Welcome to Sportsource. I'm your host, Christian Kirby. We begin our coverage with the Athens Christian track team, where Coach Tim Cummings is preparing for yet another season. Sportsource reporter Carmen Corley got a chance to speak with the story coach about the fast-approaching season.
That's right, Christian. The Athens Christian girls track and field team is looking to defend their title as state champs. I met with their head coach to find out where this success has come from.
And here's some of our kids that medaled.
The Athens Christian track and field team had an impressive finish at state last season. Their girls team took home the state championship and their boys team finished runners-up. The success of this program runs deep. Athens Christian track and field coach Tim Cummings has been a coach for 46 years, 39 of which have been at Athens Christian. His parents are the ones who established the school in 1970. Through the years, Coach Cummings has not only shaped students into athletes, but also shaped their character, instilling values of perseverance, teamwork, and sportsmanship. Coach Cummings said the athletes have shaped him as well.
I hope they'll learn a little bit from me every once in a while, but I learn a bunch from them every day too. And I get reminded of the human spirit and how strong it is. And you get to see who really wants to do something and who thinks, well, I don't know if I can do this. And then when they do something, it's like, man, you know, it's a big revelation. And that stuff's just fun.
The goal heading into this season is to win what Coach Cummings refers to as the Triple Crown. This includes winning the city meet, region, and state championship for both the girls and boys team. Senior Kiera Simmons says that Coach Cummings has inspired her since she's been running for him.
He pushes me to be better as many days as he possibly can, which is every day, and he makes me do stuff that I possibly couldn't think I could do, and I've really surpassed anything that I ever thought I could do. So.
The team has started preseason training to begin working towards their goal. One of the interesting things that Coach Cummings does is having his athletes run on the grass instead of the track. He said it helps preserve the athletes' health.
A couple things with our plan. We're here on grass. That's a big part of our plan. We're going to do as much as we can to work out during the season on grass. And because we don't like shin splits and injuries, you know, and that is a good preventative of that.
Small differences like these are what have helped this team make its way to the top. Reporting for the Carmichael Sports Media Institute, I'm Carmen Corley. The boys and girls teams will continue this preseason training, gaining more athletes as the winter sports end. They're hoping this hard work will carry them to another championship. Back to you, Christian.
Thanks, Carmen. Cedar Shoals and North Oconee face off in a fierce regional matchup in the girls' basketball. This game has caught the eye of our analysts Joe Copshow and Torrin Smith.
That's right, Christian. The North Oconee team is on a roll heading into the playoffs.
But Cedar Shoals has the mental edge as they're fighting hard to get to postseason play. Here are our thoughts on the matchup after the break.
Welcome back to Sportsource. The Athens area is home to many high school teams that participate in numerous ferocious rivalries, and few are as fierce as North Oconee and Cedar Shoals. Joining me now are Joe Copshow and Torrin Smith, who have some important insight into Tuesday's clash between the two regional girls varsity basketball teams. Joe, what are you seeing from North Oconee as this matchup approaches?
Well, Christian, North Oconee is aptly named the Lady Titans because this story is truly a one of David versus Goliath. North Oconee has already clinched the playoffs mainly due to their potent offense, which scores an average of 57 points per game. They are undefeated in the sub-region, and to add on to all that, these two teams already played in a game where the Lady Titans won 63-28.
But Joe, you have to remember who actually won in the story of David versus Goliath. Cedar Shoals is in the hunt for a playoff spot, and they desperately need this win to propel them forward. And you said it yourself, Joe. North Oconee's already guaranteed a playoff spot, and we often see teams start to play passive once they're guaranteed a postseason berth.
After that brief interview, Torrin, what do you explain analytically what do you see from Cedar Shoals putting up a fight?
Offensively, it comes down to the fact that Cedar Shoals had an extreme off night last time these two teams met. They shot a poor 24% from the field and 14% from three-point range in the prior matchup. I expect their younger shooters like Cam Brown and Ty Thompson to take a step forward since they had little experience before the season due to 6 graduating seniors on the team. I see Cedar Shoals surpassing their average of 37.7 points per game. I also think their transition defense matches up well against North Oconee's offense. Cedar Shoals prefers to jump the passing lanes, and they tend to block the first shot. The Lady Titans are susceptible to this as their offense centers on passing into the teeth of the defense and back out to the perimeter where they like to shoot the three, despite their three-point shooting having dropped to only 28.5% on the season.
For the Lady Titans, the offense has to center around center Kendall Wells. She is the team's top point scorer and is averaging a double-double. North Oconee likes to get the ball to her down low where her dominance allows her to score on one-and-ones. If she's double-teamed, her 1.3 assists per game shows she can kick it out for an open three. On the defensive side, it's about replicating past results. North Oconee is trying to finalize a defensive structure for the postseason, but the press that they used against Cedar Shoals earlier this season created a whopping 15 steals. And Coach Willis had a great rebuttal against Torrens' earlier point on falling asleep at the wheel before the playoffs.
We want to get better each game. So our goal for the Cedar game is, we want to take something from that we can use in the state playoffs and in the region tournament.
With this good analysis and Coach Willis's insight in mind, what are the final thoughts and predictions, guys?
I have North Oconee winning this one big with a solid 61-36 victory.
To me, it feels like the Lady Titans are looking ahead, while the Jaguars have one thing on their mind. However, Goliath is just too strong in this case, and I have the Jaguars narrowly losing 50-41.
We'll see his prediction was spot on Tuesday night at Cedar Shoals High School. After the break, a Bulldog with a racket takes his tennis skills to social media. And later, is hiring Bill Belichick as the coach of the Atlanta Falcons a bird brain idea, or could it be a soaring success? Stick around to find out. Welcome back to Sportsource. We're used to college athletes using their social media accounts to share pictures from the field, the court, and even occasional brand partnership. But this tennis player is using his accounts a little differently. Sportsource reporter Mackenzie Wolford joins us with more.
That's right, Christian. Felipe Costa is a redshirt sophomore for the University of Georgia tennis team, but also the founder of the online coaching platform, the Costa Tennis Academy.
This is how you can use Newton's third law to finally hit with easy power on a tennis court.
Here are 3 easy steps to help you become a better doubles player. Here's how you can learn to increase control on your forehand by understanding the 9 parts of the ball.
Between his Instagram and TikTok accounts, Costa has gained almost 35,000 followers. Costa's passion for coaching stemmed from several knee surgeries that may have kept him from competition, but never off the court.
I would stay on the tennis court in a wheelchair and crutches, and I'd just be yelling at people trying to help them with their own games.
But even a healthy Costa couldn't be kept from coaching.
So when I got to college, started playing and back to school and everything, I still wanted to coach. It was one of my passions and everything, so I discovered, all right, what's the easiest way to try and get some information across to a bunch of different people, and making videos was that way. That's where the Costa Tennis thing was born.
Content from the Costa Tennis Academy stands out not only due to it coming from a college athlete, but also because of the video's scientific foundation.
Because I understand that as an online or Instagram tennis coach, I can't go into the mind of you or of your player or of you as a tennis player and teach you exactly what you need. So I need to cover things in a realm of science and universal truth for you to help you understand the game of tennis.
Balancing content creation with the time commitment of being a student athlete can be difficult, but it's all worth it from positive feedback from fans and followers.
I like having feedback, and I like having people, tell me their success stories. I've had a lot of, I made varsity, or, you've helped me change my game.
With the spring college tennis season upon us, local Athenians can look to see Costa on the court and on social media, improving his own game as well as others.
And yeah, it reaches the hearts and minds of a lot of people, and that's what keeps me going.
Reporting for the Carmichael Sports Media Institute, I'm Mackenzie Wolford. If you're interested in Costa's content, you can find him at Costa Tennis Academy on Instagram and TikTok. You can expect tennis tips from Felipe every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday for players of all levels. Back to you, Christian.
Thanks, Mackenzie. After the break, after a winless season, a local high school football team begins an off-season rebuild. Joining me to discuss Athens Christian Academy's football team rebuild are Sportsource analysts Lily Brody and Emily Wisnowski.
Stay tuned as we discuss the good, bad, and the not so pretty of the 2023 season.
Welcome back to Sportsource. As the offseason arrives, teams dial in to review past successes and refine areas where performance dipped. Joining me now are Sportsource analysts Emily Wisnowski and Lily Brody, who will delve into how Athens Christian is sharpening its edge for the 2024 season.
Thanks, Christian. The 2023 season wasn't easy for the Athens Christian Eagles, as they finished 0-11. But every game was a chance to grow and to learn. Now, they're setting their sights on for a brighter 2024.
Imagine playing every offensive and defensive snap of the season. That was the reality for much of the Athens Christian team, including their starting quarterback. Emily and I got the chance to meet with some of these players last fall and learn that fatigue was one of this team's main opponents.
You're right. Layden Bryson isn't just slinging spirals under center for the Eagles. He's strapping on the pads and taking names on the defense too. On offense, Bryson's got a cannon for an arm, completing over half of his passes, 53.2% to be exact, and racking up 1,224 total yards, an average of 136 yards per game. When the Eagles need a stop, Bryson doesn't hesitate to suit up on the other side of the ball. He stepped in for 9 games at quarterback, racking up 5 tackles, with 4 of them being solo.
While those numbers are impressive, it is evident that physical exhaustion is felt throughout this team. But junior Bryson Campbell said low roster numbers haven't intimidated these athletes. Many players step in on offense, defense, punt, kick return, kickoff, field goal, and extra point. They wear every role like a badge of honor, ready to answer any call, whatever the field demands.
It's just real hard to keep everybody energetic, and third quarter, fourth quarter, people are starting to get really drained and just almost to the point where like, man, I can't even take a step. I'm about to fall down.
The Eagles might be facing various challenges, but addressing the issue of player fatigue is critical. It's a fundamental factor in improving their overall performance, morale, and ultimately their chances of success on the field.
With the offseason in full swing and rebuilding in the works, it's time to crack open the playbook pyramid. Let's take a look at what makes a winning team and see how the Eagles can soar higher next season.
How important is a team's internal fire, drive, determination, and a good attitude when facing challenges and navigating growth? And to what extent can a coaching staff's efforts truly flourish without a receptive and hungry playing group?
It is extremely important, Christian. That's why the base of our pyramid is a positive morale. Fortunately for Athens Christian, all of those great qualities are present throughout the program. When talking to Athletic Director Heath Kennedy during the fall, he had nothing but praise for the attitude possessed by all of the players. Throughout each struggle faced, the players handled it with grace and discernment.
Next up on the pyramid is offensive strategy. The Eagles took to the skies last season, with their passing game racking up 1,261 yards and 111 completions.
This upcoming season, with a more experienced team, the Eagles should continue to lean into their existing passing game.
Agreed. That has worked the best for them in the past when playing against teams with larger rosters who are stronger at the line and can stop the run game. However, I think if they use the offseason to better their running game, they will benefit from a diversified offense.
Finally, at the top of the pyramid is honing in on those specific defensive skills to eradicate blowout losses. This demands a relentless focus on refining key defensive skills, particularly forcing interceptions and bringing down the quarterback. Over the 2023 season, the Eagles allowed 507 points, only recorded 1 interception, and failed to register a single sack. The Eagles' offseason priority must be revamping their defense, with an emphasis on acquiring playmakers who can generate takeaways and sacks.
Yeah, stopping the ball is essential for this team. First, their secondary must be on full lockdown mode, with strong coverage on receivers and more interceptions. Stingy coverage means fewer yards, lower scores, and a shield against offensive attacks.
Second, letting the linemen fully unleash against offensive fronts, blitzes, and speed rushes will become pivotal in hastening throws, forcing fumbles, and creating interception feasts.
More pressure breeds turnovers, fueling the Eagles' own offensive fire. By fortifying the backfield and unleashing the pass rush, the Eagles will create pressure, force turnovers, and transform their defense. Remember, Eagles fans, defense wins championships.
In all, the program has a lot of potential and high possibilities.
With just a few adjustments and added roster numbers, the Athens Christian football program is on a path to improvement for the 2024 season.
Interesting insights, Emily and Lily. The Eagles certainly have their work cut out for them in the 2024 season. We'll see how it unfolds. Coming up, UGA's head tennis coach talks about the young guns shaking up the Bulldogs' tennis game. And still ahead, is Bill Belichick the right Falcon to soar? We dive into the debate surrounding him as a new possible coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Don't go away. Welcome back to Sportsource. The University of Georgia's tennis team has a handful of fresh faces this season as they continue their matches through the 2024 schedule. Sportsource's own Abby Halpin got the chance to speak with the head coach, Manuel Diaz, about the team.
Thanks, Christian. Coach Diaz, who was inducted into the USTA South Hall of Fame last weekend, has quite a young team this year with 7 freshmen. I talked with Coach Diaz about what fans can expect this year. Alrighty, Coach, so you just wrapped up fall play. You're heading into the spring season. What did you learn from the fall season that you think you'll carry into the spring season with you?
Well, I think that the biggest thing is that we've got a bunch of guys that while they're very young, we have a lot of freshmen. We have like 7 out of 10 of our kids are freshmen. And they're really excited to be here, and they are great competitors. We really enjoyed working with them this fall. They absorbed a lot of information, and they showed us that they have a lot of potential. So we go into the spring season. We know we have a tough schedule. We have a very, very fast league, and our schedule will be tough, but they are super excited, and they have incredible potential. So we have to, weather the storm. We're going to have some tough matches, but I think that they're going to be growing each step of the way.
And have the older players kind of taken on more of a leadership role because it is such a young and newer team with transfers and freshmen?
Yes. We have 2 returning juniors, Thomas Paulsale and Miguel Perez-Pena, who have been outstanding. They have assumed great leadership. And we also have Felipe Costa, who's a redshirt sophomore, who has done a tremendous job. He was here last year and provided a lot of leadership this fall as well.
And you don't have your number 1 seed from last year, Ethan, coming off of his national singles title. He turned pro. Do you have an idea of kind of how the lineup is going to shake out at all with your first match on Monday?
The thing is, we have a very even team as far as what they can do. So from the top spot to the 6th spot in singles, I think we'll have great parity and a very fluid lineup. I think that everybody's going to be, asking, we're going to be asking a lot from them, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
And the McGill Tennis Complex has kind of become this amazing atmosphere for tennis. Why do you think it's become so renowned for its energy?
Well, traditionally, we've had great crowds, some of the country's biggest crowds in college tennis, and even from the days I played here, we had over 3,000 fans my freshman year in 1972.
That must have been
so
awesome.
it goes back a long ways. Our Georgia fans have always been the best fans, and we've gotten the best crowds, the biggest crowds in the country for over the last 40, 50 years. So it's a great tradition, and I think all these kids see this and on social media, etc., and want to be a part of it.
And what can fans expect heading into this spring season?
Well, I think that they're going to see the best teams in the country come into the McGill Tennis Complex, and I think that they're going to see our kids compete with a lot of energy, and it should be a lot of fun.
Awesome. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
All right. Good job.
And if fans want a chance to see the guys in action, they can head out to the McGill Tennis Complex on Sunday at 2:30 as the Dogs take on the University of Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns. Back to you, Christian.
Thanks, Abby. Nothing like hearing straight from the source. Great report. Coming up, the Falcons' head coach hunt. There's a front runner, but is he the missing piece they've been craving? We take it to the streets to find out. Sportsource wraps up after this short break. Welcome back to Sportsource. The Atlanta Falcons are currently in the midst of a head coaching search, which has led to a handful of potential names being thrown in the mix. But one name in particular has left many divided as to whether or not he'll be a good fit for the Dirty Birds. We go to Sportsource reporter Kayla Lopez, who asked around about the Falcons' potential hire.
Thanks, Christian. I hit the streets of the UGA campus to gather perspective about a hot topic in the world of football. Bill Belichick, the mastermind behind the New England Patriots dynasty, is being considered for the head coaching position with the Atlanta Falcons. Since there seem to be many different opinions on whether he is the right fit for the team, I went out to get students' take on this potential game changer.
Do you think Bill Belichick is the right fit for the Falcons? Why or why not?
I mean, low-key, he's washed. I think he was only good because of Brady, but, I mean, he's better than anyone that we got, so.
I don't know. The Patriots kind of sucked, so.
Sure. I'm not a Falcons fan.
No, I do not.
Why?
Because he was the culture at the Patriots, and I don't think that he has enough time left in his career to bring that culture to the Falcons. I think they need somebody who's more young and, like, passionate than Bill Belichick is.
Yeah, I think he's the right fit. Good coach, young team.
No, because he's nothing without Tom Brady.
I agree. Brady made that man.
Absolutely, Bill Belichick is the right fit for the Falcons.
Why?
Why? Did you see this ship he ran up in the Patriots? I mean, up in New England. My good friend's dad used to play for the Patriots, and they were on a very tight ship. One of the reasons Brady left was because of how tight it was up there. He wanted to just kind of get out of that vibe. I think we could use some shaping up down here.
I think not necessarily, but who else are we gonna get besides Bill?
1,000%, yes. He won the Super Bowl with the Patriots, right?
Yes, he did.
So maybe he can bring some glory back to Atlanta.
Reporting for the Carmichael Sports Media Institute, I'm Kayla Lopez. And there you have it, a variety of opinions from the UGA campus on whether Bill Belichick is the missing piece in the Falcons' puzzle. As the team contemplates its next head coach, it seems the campus remains divided on whether Belichick's proven track record can bring the glory days back to Atlanta. Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, the anticipation for the future of Falcons football is visible. Back to you, Christian.
Thank you for the insight, Kayla. It's going to be interesting to see how the 2024 NFL season shakes out. That's Sportsource for this week. You can tune in each week for in-depth look at Athens area and the other UGA sports teams coverage. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Christian Kirby, and for the whole Sportsource team here at UGA, have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here next week.